For most of my life, I've lived on the West Coast. I lived in LA and Seattle, mainly. And when I moved from place to place, I just never felt like I could find like a home, you know? And I still definitely don't feel like I have found a place for me. But I felt like most recently, before New York, as you can see, I'm in New York. Before New York, I had been living in Seattle. So when I was in Seattle, I started meditating, and this was around the time that I had my spiritual awakening, my first one. And then from there, I basically had the clarity that I needed to know that it was time to move here. And it was super dope. I had like 3 visions that were super clear, that basically were like New York, New York, New York, you know? And it was really scary at the time because I don't like being away from my family. Shit's kind of rough, I'm not gonna lie. And 2, I don't know anyone here, and I've only been to the East Coast like once, you know, and it was like for a week for Rolling Loud. So the idea of just packing up and moving all the way here, so it just seemed kind of crazy, you know? But then I really thought about it, and I was like, my whole life, I've always just done the craziest thing possible. Like, what is it that scares me the most? And I choose what I'm gonna do next based off of that. And so the very fact that it scared me so much to move here was the last confirmation that I needed to make the jump, you know? So yeah, I sold everything that I own in order to come here. And I would say it's worked out so far. I moved here May 2025. So been here for almost a year. It's been 11 months. And it was really cool. At the time when I first moved here, I still was like, my first spiritual awakening that I had was like December 2024. And going into January of 25, I was scared to even meditate. So to have visions and all these things confirming that this was the place to go was already kind of crazy. But when I decided to actually come here, it's pretty cool. I have some photos to show you guys. Let's see. So when I first moved here, I was super religious, super Catholic in particular. And that was really everything for me. Like even the very reason that I started meditating was because I believed in Jesus and I wanted to find the real him, you know? And it took me on this whole path about finding out like who is Yeshua, who is, like what is Gnosticism, what is all this stuff about the Essenes. And even in my sleep state, I still had this obsession with like, I felt like there was something there within all of that spirituality stuff, the religion stuff, that was untapped. And for me, the number one thing that spoke to me was Salvador Dali's painting of Jesus being crucified. And I always resonated with this. And so at the time, it was my lock screen. And I basically, when I first moved here, like literally the first week in May, I went to the Met. And I'm not sure if they always have this painting there, but regardless, like this shit was like my favorite painting on earth. And so the first week that I moved here, I was just so scared and so overwhelmed that I was like, this isn't going to work out. This is a bad idea. This is a bad idea. I already sold everything, so there's no going back, but this is still a bad idea. And I walked into the Met and I saw this painting. And I know that it seems like I'm being over dramatic, but I cannot overstate how much this shit meant to me, you know? And it taught me a lot about the power of manifestation, what that really looks like. I've never been one for all the woo-woo stuff, even before. You can blame my chud self. But even now, manifestation is kind of like a difficult thing for me. But I realized that the key for me to be able to make manifestation work was there's a price that you have to pay. And that price is uncertainty. You know, I had no idea if this shit was going to work out. I had sold everything. And I see all these things as bad things in this like westernized society that I live in, that you probably live in too, watching this. But yeah, I realized it was like the best case scenario. Like literally having nothing made sure that I had, my reality had nothing to reinforce to me other than randomness, other than anything is possible. Even though my emotional response to that state was fear, it still was just is infinite potential, you know? And it was crazy. Like I pulled up, like I'm not even joking. Let me show you another picture. A video I have here. This is the only thing that I brought with me. It was a backpack and a suitcase. And this is my suitcase. I literally had that shit taped up. I was going from Airbnb to Airbnb because I had no idea how I was going to find a spot. And yeah, it was amazing, wonderful time. Here's a video of me in May, going to the financial district for the first time. Dude, I was so chuffed. But that was also like probably like 30 pounds ago or something. And pre-drip era. And yeah, that moment at the Met for me was just kind of just everything. Gave me a lot of clarity. It's really dope. But yeah, I made the leap. I'm able to come here now. And New York is definitely not for everyone. And who knows how long I'm going to be here. But it's been really inspiring just to see how far you can go when you just let go. You know? And I pray for more uncertainty and I pray for more randomness. I love my life being kind of like a storybook thing. You know, because the only reality that would be enough to suit me would be one that's like a modern epic, you know? And there's a lot of energies here that I've been able to accumulate, learn. But yeah, this next era that I'm entering now, this new timeline, is even more uncertainty and it's still testing me constantly. So yeah, there's only more upgrades left in store. And I'm grateful for this opportunity.